right? Oh no, so we went to go to the park and you had to get a bus in, and so we rode the bus and we got there, and I have a park pass like for all the national parks across the United States, and for everyone and anyone who wants to go on adventures and go over to these beautiful national parks, go ahead and buy your national parks pass. It's $80 or $85 with your processing fee. Most of them are $35 per entrance. So in 3 parks, you've paid for it. I mean, I did 12 national parks back in 2020. So, I mean, for me, it was definitely worth it. So I've repurchased it. I just renewed it and got it again. So yeah, anyone interested in doing that, it's so worth it.
So you pay, it's a yearly pass?
You go online to National Parks, United States, and you just go in there and you put in for a year, and then they send you a pass, and you can. Everyone who's in your vehicle gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Not people, like each person has to pay to get in the park. So when we went to Zion and Bryce Canyon, I just gave him my pass, and my daughter and I went through. It's just the vehicle, basically.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
I think you can have up to 6 people or something.
that was invaluable to me this summer because I stayed right like on the edge of a national park, and it would have been hundreds and hundreds of dollars if I hadn't bought that pass. So that's a great tip for sure. Yeah, and it supports conservation as well too. They put that back into protecting the animals and the landscapes and everything. So
I mean, it's definitely worth doing that. But when we went to go into Zion, we took this bus and we got through to where the gate was, where you show your pass and then you go and you get another shuttle bus because we wanted to go to the Narrows. The Narrows is one of the most famous parts of Zion. And Slot Canyon, it's fabulous. So we wanted to go there. So we were standing in line and we were just looking at all of the people, and we just looked at each other and we went, nah, do this. So we got out of line, got back on the little shuttle bus, went back to her Jeep, and we drove through. So you can drive through Zion, and it's on Route 12. And so we went to the park gate, we showed our pass, we went through, and we drove through on Route 12, because Route 12 goes out the other side into Escalante's wilderness and Capitol Reef, and it heads north up to Route 24, which then takes you further north into the Goblin Valley and Little Wild Horse Canyon and everything up that way. So we just drove through and we just pulled off on the side of the road and we just did some little hikes of our own. Went through the tunnel and then we hiked the mile out to the overlook. So you come up the side of the mountain. It's like all switch all the way up the mountain, and then there's a tunnel you go through, and then when you get out the other side of the tunnel, there's a parking area and you park, and then you walk a mile back. I think it's about a mile that you walk back to the overlook, and you can see the whole valley of where you just came up. I mean, it's really phenomenal, and it's it's 8,000, 9,000 feet. I mean, it's pretty cool. So and then we went to Bryce Canyon and we hiked the hike we did, but we went down because Bryce Canyon is all those hoodoos, right? You know what they are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different parts of it that they call. Some of them are like Wall Street. I think we did Wall Street, and then there was another one like Double. You hike down to Double Bridge, and it's basically a hoodoo that's fallen down and it's created a bridge. It's really fun, but you go down into there and it's quite cool down there. But it's like it's a workout to get back up. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's definitely worth doing, but it is a serious workout to come back up.
How many miles is it?
It's like a 2-mile round trip. By the time you get down and go all through all your switchbacks and get down and you hike out into like this wooded area and whatever, and then you come back around and then you hike back up.
Yeah, switchbacks prolong it, of course.
Yeah. So I'm straight up. So you have to do all this, but yeah, it's pretty fun stuff. We don't have anything like that out here.
Yeah, nothing close.
I mean, because I'm always the apologist for Ohio. It's like in the Midwest in general, it's like we got some hilly wood sides and woodland, but and
Yeah.
hey, I mean, some of those can be strenuous hikes though, to be fair. But yeah, it's definitely not quite on the same scale as like stuff out west.
The whole landscape and everything out there is, I mean, the Red Rock is just phenomenal. You have nothing like that. This is like your Appalachian Mountains and your Smoky Mountains and stuff are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The Shenandoah, Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean, being up through there, being camping and canoeing and stuff down in the Maury River, whatever. Smoky Mountains, absolutely fabulous. You tube down one of the rivers there, just outside of Gatlinburg. And I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but the West is just so different, and it's big. Everything's big. They say when you go to Montana, the sky looks like really big because that's what they call it, the big sky state. But it does. When you get there, you feel like the sky is enormous. So, but I feel that with the whole out.
Yeah, I know one of my friends was telling me she used to live in Montana for years, growing up and everything, and then moved to Ohio here. But she was telling me like, because I was just like asking her out of curiosity, because I've always wanted to go to Montana. It seems really breathtaking. She was saying about like, yeah, I mean like you could just go on a hike at any moment. Like you walk outside your door and there's mountains, and like you could just go up them or whatever you want. Like that just sounds awesome.
Oh, absolutely. So my daughter, Nicole, and her husband Matt, and her son Matt, there's two Matts. They live in the I always get it wrong, the Wasatch Mountains range, and then to the north of them is the Uintas, and then obviously 4 or 5 hours south of them is like southern Utah, which is all the red rock, everything from the Arches, Canyonlands, Moab, the Escalante Grand Staircase, Wilderness, Capitol Reef, you've got Zion, Bryce, all of these beautiful, beautiful places. And then they've got like state forests and state parks that are just as phenomenal, So yeah, their backyard, they're always out hiking. And there's tons of beautiful lakes and stuff that they go fishing on, paddleboarding, so they have, and then the snow in the wintertime, they can go skiing if they want. They're not big skiers, but that it's all there.